Hello everyone, what's up? And my name is Elvis vs. the World, and in this video we're going to dive into HBO Max's newest series titled Velma and recap episode 8. Like always, thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, follow me on IG and Twitter, and let's get into the episode. So the beginning of episode 8 shows Velma reflecting on the history of her friendship with Daphne and how they got so distant once her mom went missing and she became more popular. After the debacle at Fogfest, Velma and Daphne are back to being close friends. Fred's mom begs Velma to help her find Fred as he's gone missing. Remember, at the end of the last episode, someone snatched Fred. Velma grabs Daphne as she says her other iconic catchphrase, "Let's go, Daph," just like the original series. 2 days later, they get stuck in some cave as Velma panics. They start arguing as the episode takes us back to how this all started. Daphne's parents are driving Velma and Daphne home as Velma tries to break into the serial killer's cell phone. Daphne's parents can't help unless they have proof that that is the serial killer's phone, and says that Daphne can help since she can hack into phones because of an incident that occurred. Velma asks what the incident was as Daphne plays coy to change the subject. We cut to Fred, who was snatched by some mysterious person, the serial killer. They lock him up in some lab in the cave, where we then hear Brenda, Krista, and Lola's voices coming from brains in the jars. Fred then faints as they start conversating with him. Velma and Daphne use a blacklight to see which numbers the serial killer has pressed on the phone screen. She then tells Velma that the incident was that she had hacked into someone's phone to see if they liked her. They get the password and search through the phone to find a picture the serial killer took in the woods of Mount Crystal. Velma makes a plan for them to go there the next day as Daphne continues to like pictures of Olive that Olive sends her. We then go to Fred's flashback as Krista, Brenda, and Lola's brains tell Fred that the person that took them plans to put their brains in someone else. Fred ends up flirting with Brenda's brain, which is a story. The next day, Velma goes to Daphne's house to pick up Daphne when she bails on the plan. Olive appears as Daphne says that they are going to take pictures for a calendar together and that she can't go. Velma suspects that Daphne and Olive may be a thing as Velma fakes having a hallucination for Daphne's attention. Gigi and Norval appear in the cave as well as she blames Norval as the reason they are stuck there. So yeah, Daphne, Velma, Gigi, and Norval are all apparently stuck in this ravine together. Gigi goes into her own flashback as to how this is Norval's fault. Since Gigi's parents are away, Norval comes up with a plan to spend the night with Gigi at her parents' cabin in Mount Crystal. We find out that Fred is actually kidnapped below Gigi's parents' cabin. Norval appears with Daphne and Velma at Gigi's parents' cabin. Gigi is confused as she thought it was just going to be her and Norval. Velma tells Gigi that they need to stay at her cabin because they are looking for the serial killer based on the picture he took from Mount Crystal. Since Norval can't deduct context clues, Gigi blames him. Norval signals for a team from a helicopter to come rescue them, but they are told to prioritize looking for Fred instead and then dip. Velma blames Daphne as we go into yet another flashback, this time of Velma. Norval and Gigi are arguing as Velma and Daphne are just chilling back. Daphne catches Velma lying about her hallucinations thanks to Norval. Daphne and Gigi decide to dip from the cabin to go into town to look for Wi-Fi signal. Norval tells Velma that Daphne had a thing for Gigi at one point, which causes Velma to run out the cabin to try to disrupt their plan. Gigi and Daphne try to look over the ravine to see if the serial killer is hiding there, but the rocks beneath them are unstable, so they are all afraid to move. The rocks end up cracking as they all end up falling into the ravine, which is how they got stuck. Gigi tells the group that Daphne hasn't been obsessed with her in over a year, and then Daphne confesses that she likes how Velma makes her feel wanted, and that she likes seeing her jealous. This is apparently why she was getting close with Olive, just to make Velma jealous. Norval says that the only way one of them can escape being trapped is if someone gets crushed to death. They end up trying to blame each other as they all try to shift the rock that's trapping them. They end up falling even further down the ravine as they end up in an extension of the crystal mines. Gigi gets upset at Norval for trying to rescue Velma's life instead of hers as they both dip out back to her cabin. We go to Fred as he gets cozy with Krista's brain. Apparently, he hooked up with Brenda, Krista, and Lola's brains while he was stuck. Seems like Fred is truly back. Velma and Daphne come to the conclusion that being just friends isn't working as they should take their friendship to the next level. They find Fred as he's venting to all the brains about his feelings towards them. Daphne and Velma discover the brains as Fred runs away. He tries to escape, but his voice causes the rocks to block the escape route. Velma theorizes that someone is trying to recreate Dr. Purdue's brain switching plans and that her mom has to be somewhere in the ravine. The ravine splits the ground in two as Velma grabs the brains and attempts to escape but falls through the crack. Velma's mom appears as she grabs Velma from the falling through. Wow, what a reveal. Dia leads Velma, Daphne, and Fred on the path to escaping the ravine as she reveals a brand new van that could get them out of there. We see the early stages of the Mystery Machine van, I suppose. Dia drives through the collapsing ravine as they dodge all the falling rocks. We go back to Norval and Gigi back at the cabin where Gigi blames Norval for still liking Velma. They all end up escaping the ravine as Velma is reunited with her mom once more. The post-credit scene shows a news broadcast of the whole incident as they only focus on Fred being alive. Velma tries to ask her mom who kidnapped her, but her mom says that she doesn't remember, and that ends the episode. So we finally get Velma's mom. Velma has finally reunited with her mom, also looks to take her relationship with Daphne to the next level. We also find out the brains of Brenda, Krista, and Lola, and what the serial killer was planning to do with them. Like always, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, turn on post notifications, as we are now dwindling down to the final episodes of the series in season 1. Just a reminder, at the end of the series recap, I'm going to give my broad thoughts on this whole series as a whole, so make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, and let me know in the comments below about how you thought about the episode. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.